The tension between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney is escalating fast, spilling over into the public domain and capturing the attention of boxing fans worldwide. What was once a competitive rivalry inside the ring is now turning into a full-blown personal feud, with legal battles adding fuel to the fire. It all started after Haney filed a lawsuit against Ryan, alleging fraud and battery after their fight on April 20th. But the situation has taken a sharp turn with Ryan refusing to give Haney a rematch. And it seems that things are only getting worse from here, with Ryan almost attacking Haney. As Ryan Garcia takes to social media, his words leave no doubt about where he stands on the lawsuit. He's going to take 2 L's, one in the courtroom and one in the ring, Ryan posted on X. His frustration with Devin is clear, and he's not holding back anymore. To him, this lawsuit is nothing more than a money grab, a desperate attempt by Haney to squeeze more out of their already financially successful fight.
It's definitely a money grab. He really thought that what he's doing is gonna get him more money. I mean, that's basically what it is.
But Haney's lawsuit seems to have backfired. Ryan Garcia almost lost control and fought Devin near a courtroom, which has only made things worse. What Devin may not have anticipated is Ryan's defiant stance, refusing to give him the rematch he seeks. For Haney, this creates a major problem. He needs that rematch. There's no one else in the current boxing landscape who can deliver the kind of payday Ryan Garcia offers. Without a second fight, Haney finds himself in a tight corner, especially as he's not yet established himself as a major pay-per-view star. Sure, he's racked up an impressive record, staying undefeated with a 31-0 streak and winning notable fights against Regis Prograis, Vasily Lomachenko, and George Kambosos Jr. But when it comes to the ability to sell PPV tickets and draw large crowds, Ryan Garcia is on another level. Haney's choices are limited. He's too big for Gervonta Davis, who's the only other big name around his weight class that could offer a lucrative fight. And if he moves up to 154 pounds, the only star waiting for him is Terrence Crawford. But Crawford's eyes are set on Canelo Alvarez, not someone like Haney. Unless Haney manages to secure an enormous financial backer, like His Excellency Turki Alalshik, it seems unlikely that he'll get a fight with Crawford. That leaves Haney's lawsuit as his only shot at maintaining relevance, at least in terms of big money fights. The lawsuit itself has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Filed on a Friday, it accuses Ryan Garcia of fraud and battery, with Haney citing a positive test result for the banned substance ostarine in Ryan's system. For fans, the lawsuit looks like an attempt to keep milking the fight for more cash, especially considering how lucrative their first matchup was. However, Ryan's not budging. He's outright said he won't fight Haney again. And without that rematch, Haney's potential for another massive payday seems to have evaporated. The bitterness between the two fighters is evident, and it's clear that Ryan Garcia is furious with how things have played out. He was crying to Eddie Hearn that, "You don't give me no tickets," Ryan said mockingly, referring to Haney's complaints after their fight. It's a direct jab at Haney's attitude post-fight, implying that Haney's not only upset about the outcome of the match, but is also grasping for straws with this lawsuit. What's adding to the drama is the way Ryan has handled these accusations. On social media, he's continued to post about how Haney is dragging the lawsuit out unnecessarily, making it clear that he's ready to fight this battle both in and out of the courtroom. And if it comes to it, Ryan's prepared to lose his money in the lawsuit because, as he says, it won't hurt him. His confidence is through the roof, and he's even stated that he's looking forward to the trial because he believes he can make Haney and his team look stupid. Ryan's confidence isn't without reason. He's built a reputation as one of boxing's most marketable stars, known for his lightning-fast hands, knockout power, and social media presence. Even if he were to lose money in the lawsuit, he's convinced that it won't slow him down.
You must be on boxing position and just have a little dance like we're boxing.
In fact, He sees Haney's team as having underestimated him both in the ring and in this legal battle. "They're suing me because I beat the F out of them," Ryan declared in a recent interview. He believes that Haney assumed his superior experience, especially after wins over fighters like Lomachenko and Kambosos, would give him the edge in their fight, but Ryan sees it differently. In his mind, Haney never stood a chance once Ryan decided to turn it up. And then there's the wild, almost surreal twist, Ryan accusing Haney of hiding his true self. "I don't care if he's gay, just admit it," Ryan said, adding yet another explosive layer to this already tense situation. Whether or not there's any truth to the comment, it's clear that Ryan is willing to push the boundaries in this feud, using whatever ammunition he can to rile up his opponent. The personal nature of the insults, coupled with the legal battle, makes this much more than just another boxing rivalry. This isn't simply about two fighters vying for dominance in the ring anymore. It's personal, and it's getting uglier by the day. Ryan's next move, as he's hinted, might be outside the United States. He's already considering fighting in Dubai or Tokyo, distancing himself from the American boxing scene that has been dominated by this lawsuit. By taking his career international, Ryan could not only escape the shadow of the lawsuit, but also open up new financial opportunities that don't rely on a rematch with Haney. In fact, it's clear that Ryan is ready to move on even as the lawsuit looms. "If anything, he battered me at the Empire State Building," Ryan said sarcastically, downplaying the lawsuit's claims and mocking Haney's accusations. From a legal standpoint, Haney's chances in the lawsuit are unclear. While Ryan tested positive for ostarine, the amounts found in his system were reportedly trace amounts, which may not be enough to sway a judge in Haney's favor. And if the lawsuit doesn't lead to a massive financial payout, then Haney has lost not just a legal battle, but also the chance for a high-profile rematch. In that sense, the lawsuit could prove to be a bigger gamble than Haney anticipated. The legal battle between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is stirring up even more heat. Devin Haney's attorney, Pat English, submitted a detailed 16-page filing that laid out their case against Garcia. At the heart of it, Haney is seeking punitive damages. These damages are a separate category beyond compensatory damages. They aim to punish the wrongdoer and prevent similar behavior in the future.
Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions were awarded $1 million for damages for the fight Devin Haney vs. Ryan Garcia.
In his argument, English emphasized that Haney had never consented to fight an opponent who was using performance-enhancing substances. He makes it clear that if Haney had been aware of Garcia's positive test, he would have never stepped into the ring. The lawsuit shows how seriously the allegations against Garcia could impact both Haney and the boxing world. It's a bold move to suggest that the New York State Athletic Commission itself was kept in the dark about Garcia's drug use and intravenous fluid intake. The filing takes a sharp turn when it mentions the shocking claim that Garcia allegedly admitted to being high as F during the fight with Haney. If true, this accusation tarnishes not only Garcia's reputation, but also casts a shadow over the sport of boxing itself.
Damn, let's go, baby, get down there. Yeah, up.
It's a public embarrassment that English points to, stating how this kind of behavior reflects poorly on the commission and the integrity of the sport. Ryan Garcia's actions are framed as demonstrating wanton dishonesty and a high degree of moral turpitude. These are harsh words that point to Garcia's alleged indifference to the rules of boxing and his blatant disregard for the fairness of the match. English further claimed that Garcia's actions imply criminal indifference to his civil obligations, painting a picture of recklessness and negligence.
I'm going to sue the NYC Commission, and I'm saying this why. They're trying to challenge me for a mental evaluation.
One of the most shocking claims in the lawsuit is the charge of battery. According to English, Haney had consented to fight under the assumption that Garcia was clean and following the rules of the sport. But given Garcia's alleged substance use, English argued that Haney's consent was void, making the fight itself an act of battery. In this context, battery refers to any unlawful or offensive physical contact, and English's argument is that Garcia's actions fall squarely into this category because the fight was no longer fair under the circumstances. Haney is seeking damages for the physical injuries he allegedly sustained during the fight. as well as the reputational harm he has suffered since the bout. English claims these damages could amount to millions of dollars, particularly due to the emotional and mental toll that the controversy has taken on Haney. It's not just about the fight anymore, it's about Haney's legacy and the perception of his abilities in the public eye.
Then I tell you you're gonna feel some feel you ain't felt. No. Stop everything.
Beyond the battery claim, the lawsuit also accuses Garcia of fraud. This centers around the idea that Garcia signed documents stating he would not use performance-enhancing drugs. By doing so, Garcia supposedly misled everyone involved, including Haney and the boxing authorities. This count of fraud shows the legal complexity of the case, as Haney's legal team is attempting to show that Garcia's dishonesty went far beyond just bending the rules in the ring. Furthermore, the unjust enrichment claim aims to take away the financial profits that Garcia earned from the fight. Haney's team argues that Garcia doesn't deserve to keep his fight purse or the pay-per-view profits because he didn't play by the rules. They want to see Garcia stripped of the money he made, claiming that he has benefited unfairly from the situation. Since news of the lawsuit broke, the boxing world has been full with reactions. This legal battle between two top fighters is setting a new precedent, and everyone seems to have an opinion. Yet, perhaps the most surprising response, or lack thereof, came from Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Initially, Davis, who was close with both Haney and Garcia, remained quiet about the situation. This silence was unusual, considering how loud Davis can be on social media, especially when it comes to his fellow fighters. But that silence didn't last forever. Davis finally got in after a fan tweeted about the lawsuit, pointing out the irony of Bill Haney's earlier comments. The fan referenced a moment when Bill Haney allegedly said that Devin would kill Ryan Garcia in the ring, mocking the current lawsuit where Haney's team is now suing over concerns about Garcia's drug use. The fan's tweet took a sharp tone, calling the lawsuit a B move.
I always say that I believe that Ryan Garcia was a good fighter. We were 3-3 with him. I think he's an even better TikToker or influencer or whatever because he fooled you guys.
In a simple yet telling response, Tank Davis replied, "Crazy how life works." It's a brief statement, but it speaks volumes. Davis seems to be hinting at the unpredictability of the sport and how things can quickly shift from trash talk to serious legal consequences. While Davis hasn't explicitly taken sides, his comments suggest that he's just as surprised by the turn of events as everyone else. This lawsuit isn't just a personal battle between Haney and Garcia, it's about the future of boxing. If Haney's claims hold up in court, it could set a new standard for how fighters are held accountable for their actions, both inside and outside the ring. PEDs have always been a controversial issue in the sport, but this lawsuit brings it to the forefront in a way that could have lasting repercussions.
So Ryan Garcia is looking to sue those companies that actually developed those supplements that he was taking. And he's saying he needs to talk to the person who gave them the supplements.
If Garcia is found guilty, it may discourage fighters from bending the rules in the future, knowing that they could face significant legal consequences. On the flip side, some worry that this lawsuit could set a dangerous precedent. Will every fighter who loses a bout now have grounds to sue if they feel the fight wasn't fair? Could this open the door for a flood of legal challenges, each one more complicated than the last? Eddie Hearn, the Matchroom boss, has always been vocal when it comes to issues surrounding boxing. But his latest comments about Devin Haney's lawsuit against Ryan Garcia reflect the broader implications this case could have on the sport. Hearn's perspective stands out not just because of his role in promoting some of the biggest events in boxing, but because he sees this lawsuit as a potential watershed moment. A chance to reshape how boxing deals with PEDs and the culture of doping that has been a black mark on the sport for years. Hearn is no stranger to the complexities of the sport, and his experience as a promoter gives him a unique vantage point on the issue of doping. Speaking to Boxing Social, he highlighted what many have felt for a long time. The current penalties for doping in boxing are not strict enough to truly deter fighters from cheating. Like Ryan Garcia is a good example. Hearn said, referencing the one-year ban Garcia received after testing positive. But as Hearn pointed out, a one-year ban isn't necessarily as harsh as it sounds. In the world of boxing, where fighters typically take months off between fights to rest and recover before going into another training camp, a year's suspension can feel more like an extended break than a significant punishment. For fighters like Garcia, who are still young and have time to bounce back, the current penalties for doping seem insufficient to dissuade others from following a similar path. Hearn emphasized that by the time you have 6 months off and a little break, you're going back into camp. Essentially, fighters could be back in action without feeling the full weight of their punishment.
It's a speed, bro. Oh! 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 Bro, that left hook, bro. I told that left hook, bro.
The real game changer, Hearn argues, is the potential for financial repercussions. The deterrent of losing tens of millions of dollars is much worse, he noted. In other words, while a temporary ban may not do much to damage a fighter's career, the threat of losing substantial sums of money through lawsuits could be enough to make any boxer think twice before considering PED use. This is where Haney's lawsuit against Garcia could have a far-reaching impact, as it introduces the idea that doping in boxing could lead to not just a suspension, but significant legal and financial consequences. Hearn sees this moment as major, one that could set the stage for a future where cheating comes with steeper consequences, not just in terms of bans, but also in terms of financial loss and potential legal battles. Now that there's a potential legal action against someone that takes performance-enhancing drugs, I actually think it's a pivotal moment for the sport in that respect, he said. Hearn's comments reflect a broader frustration with the lack of meaningful consequences for doping in boxing. Unlike other sports like track and field or cycling, where athletes who are caught doping face significant reputational damage and long-term bans, boxing has often been seen as more lenient in its approach to PEDs. Fighters can serve their suspensions and come back to lucrative fights, often without facing much in the way of long-term consequences. This lawsuit, in Hearn's view, could be the catalyst needed to change that perception.
Listen, I've had 50 positive drug tests in my promotional career for different fights. I know how it goes down, but this one was just like, you know.
One of the key aspects of the lawsuit is the message it sends to fighters about the risks involved in doping. If Haney succeeds in his case, it could set a precedent that fighters who cheat will not only face suspensions, but could also be sued for damages. This would hit fighters where it hurts the most, in their wallets. For Hearn, this is exactly the kind of deterrent that boxing needs, as financial penalties have the potential to be far more effective than temporary bans. The penalty implemented in boxing is not strict enough, Hearn said, but with the possibility of losing tens of millions of dollars now on the table, the stakes are suddenly much higher. While Hearn is optimistic about the potential impact of Haney's lawsuit, he is also realistic about the legal challenges involved. I've spoken to a lot of lawyers about it. It's certainly not clear-cut either way, he admitted. Lawsuits of this nature are complex, and proving that Garcia's actions directly caused the kind of harm that Haney is alleging, both in terms of physical injury and reputational damage, will require substantial evidence and legal expertise. However, Hearn believes the case has a lot of merit, and he's not the only one. The lawsuit could bring new attention to the issue of doping in boxing and force governing bodies to take a closer look at how they handle PED cases moving forward. They believe the case has a lot of merit, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, Hearn said, hinting at the potential ripple effect this case could have across the sport.
NGQ, doing what I do, all white, looking nice, okay, come through.
I don't know if Ryan Garcia is taking the fight serious or not.
If the lawsuit leads to a big legal victory for Haney, it could change the way fighters approach not just doping, but the contracts they sign and the risks they take in the ring. Fighters who test positive for banned substances could find themselves not just suspended, but facing lawsuits that could cost them millions of dollars in damages, particularly if they are found to have misled their opponents, promoters, and the boxing commissions. At the end of the day, Hearn's optimism about the lawsuit reflects his belief that this could be a turning point for boxing. The sport has long been criticized for its handling of doping scandals, and Hearn's hope is that this lawsuit will force governing bodies, fighters, and promoters to take the issue more seriously. Win, lose, or draw in court. I think this is actually a good thing to deter fighters from using performance-enhancing drugs, he said. But what's your take? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.